evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Monday, January 29, 2024. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Government preparing to assess local capacity to supply oil industry for possible changes to Local Content Act. Local private sector urged to step up game, capitalize on investments at Energy Forum. Former East Bank Demerara River Dam squatters receive keys to new houses. Several businesses destroyed in CORRIVERTON fire and 3 injured in New Amsterdam nightclub shooting. Now for the news in detail. The Natural Resources Ministry is gearing up for its sensitization workshop as mandated under the Local Content Act, which is expected to gauge the country's capacity to supply the oil industry and further influence amendments to the current framework. Here is Rupasine Ryan with our lead story tonight.
In December 2021, the National Assembly had passed the Local Content Act, which outlines 40 different service areas that oil and gas companies and their subcontractors must procure from Guyanese and Guyanese-owned companies. Natural Resources Minister Vikram Bharat told media operatives on Monday that at some point in time, amendments will be made to the local content legislation as the country's capacity develops.
We will, at some point in time, have to make some updates, some amendments to the local content legislation, as we would have promised in the past when we were doing consultation to draft the bill that was presented in Parliament. I will not tie myself to a timeline as to when we will complete it. But what we are going to start just after the budget is the local content sensitization workshop throughout the entire country. And that is a requirement in the legislation that we at the Ministry of Natural Resources and the Local Content Secretariat must do local content sensitization workshop across the country.
One of the reasons for this workshop, which is a collaborative effort between the ministry, the operator, and contractors, is to ensure that people understand truly what local content is and how they can benefit. While it is not a consultative aspect for the amendment, Minister Bharat outlined that it will be instrumental in measuring the capacity which exists in the country.
This is the local content sensitization workshop, but it will help us and put us in a better position to understand the capacity that exists within the country. Because when we drafted that bill in 2021, to be quite honest, we didn't have a true sense of the capacity in the private sector. Right now, I think the private sector is working with a number of organizations to do a true assessment of our capacity. We had to be real about our capacity in country. A lot has changed from 2021 to now. We are aware of that. So this workshop too, and by going around the country and by listening to people and engaging them, I think it will put us as ministry government in a better position to truly assess what has changed from 2021 to now 2024 in terms of capacity to offer goods and services to the oil and gas companies.
Government has already identified some gray areas since the framework was created, which are on the cards to be strengthened. A major issue was fronting, a practice also called rent-a-citizen, whereby foreign companies employ Guyanese and/or Guyanese businesses in order to bypass the provisions of the Local Content Act, including the stipulation that only companies that are 51% owned by a Guyanese can benefit from the 40 carved-out service areas. Since then, the Local Content Secretariat has been on alert in its scrutiny of application standard. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
The upcoming Guyana Energy Conference and Supply Chain Expo will place spotlight on the grand-scale opportunities available for investment in the country's blossoming economy, and the local private sector has been called on to step up its game and seek out new partnerships. Here is Rupasine Ryan again with the details.
The third edition of the Guyana Energy Conference and Supply Chain Expo is slated for February 19th to the 22nd, 2024, under the theme Fueling Transformation and Modernization. Natural Resources Minister Vikram Bharat recognized that Guyana is one of two hotspots for investments globally, but it has an advantage over Namibia in Africa, which is now moving towards oil production. By February, Guyana will be producing a massive 600,000 barrels of oil per day, and with increased production comes increased opportunities, and with this ramped-up generation brings a new wave of economic openings. As such, he said it is important for the local private sector to use this platform as one to engage, network, and build partnerships.
At the last NG conference, we were about 390,000 barrels per day. So a lot has happened from the last conference to this one. And increase in production definitely spells opportunities throughout the value chain, opportunities for the private sector in the provision of goods and services. Even though our Schedule 1 in the local content legislation is limited to 40 services carve-outs, that we had capacity in 2021 to achieve. Today it might be very different, and what we have noticed is that almost every single investor coming to invest in Guyana is now looking for a local partner, regardless whether the service is in Schedule 1 or not. They're still looking for a local partner because that schedule can be amended at any point in time.
Chief Executive Officer of GoInvest, Dr. Peter Ramsarup, also signaled the call for local businesses to take advantage of the budding opportunities, but in doing so, they must step up their game.
When you think of Guyana as a powerhouse and you look at the type of visitors that will be in our country, I would advise our local private sector to really take the advantage. These folks are here looking to make money, and we don't have a problem with that. But our private sector needs to understand that they have to step up their game also. As the minister talked about local content, look for the right partnership, participate, and demonstrate our capacity and capability.
Chief Executive Officer of the Guyana Energy Conference and Supply Chain Expo, Kurt Babulal, outlined that thus far, some 19 different sectors are participating with a focus on growth, sustainability, and diversification.
The team connects the other industries as well, because without infrastructure, how can persons move their products and goods along the roadways? We look at agriculture, we look at farm to market roads. So the energy sector, again, does not operate within its one silo. There's a correlation with other sectors here. And if those other sectors cannot correlate in terms of progress and increase, then you'll see you'll see the energy sector stifling. So we're happy to see the movement of the other sectors as it correlates with the energy sector.
Some 200 exhibitors are expected for this year, spanning 21 countries. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
The lives of some Turtle low-income families who were previously residing in makeshift dwellings along the East Bank Demerara River Dam have been completely transformed through the intervention of the government, which has provided them with their own homes. Trishelle Sobers has this story.
Constructed to the tune of $5.2 million each, the homes are situated at Greater Diamond on the east bank of Demerara. The new homeowners will be required to pay a monthly mortgage of $25,000. The two-bedroom core homes are no less than 600 feet single-family homes with concrete blocks for the outer walls and floors, basic doors, and electrical wiring, among others. They also feature a living room, kitchen, and washroom area. On Monday, Housing and Water Minister Colin Crowe presented keys to the 30 new homeowners, alongside Director of Community Development, Gladwin Charles, and engineers from the Central Housing and Planning Authority's Projects Department. During brief remarks, the minister explained that the beneficiaries were pre-approved by his ministry for the homes based on their monthly income. On this point, he disclosed that the ministry will continue to work with the new homeowners to ensure that the moving process is smooth. This includes providing them with their electrical certificate.
All of these persons here Obviously, today they'll be issued their certificate or their electrical certificate, so it means that they can apply to GPL and have their current connected immediately. So there's access for electricity here. In fact, as you notice, it's well lit. And so they will be able to move in immediately. And so we'll be working with them on their relocation. The proximity for here is very prime. And notice I didn't just say prime, I said very prime because it's very close to the 4-lane from both directions and very close to the roundabout. So the land value itself, once handed over today, it may be double or triple immediately.
Kroll added that the beneficiaries will receive their land titles upon completing payment. During an interview with this newscast, beneficiary Indrani Gafoor, who lived along the sea dam at Grove with her family, expressed gratitude to the government and the ministry for assisting squatters with acquiring land.
You know, it's kind of hard there. We don't get water and lights, but I have solar I use. And I must say thanks to the Ministry of Housing for this, for the help. Well, I will do an opening for the house because I'm a Hindu, so I will do an opening to bless the home, and then after I move in.
The relocation and resettlement program under the ministry will provide informal settlers with 4 main housing options. Among those is the existing turnkey housing units, the area at Great Diamond outfitted for the necessary infrastructure works, land allocations at other schemes, and the Venezuelan immigrants will be assisted with building through the Men on Mission initiative. The ministry has been engaging with approximately 291 squatters on the sea dam at Herstelling, Farm, Covent Garden, Prospect, Diamond Grove, and Friendship since 2021. About 50% of the settlers have already received land allocations in housing schemes. Trishelle Slubbers, Evening News.
The Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry today issued a statement registering its concerns about the operations at the Guyana Stock Exchange and its effect on the business community in Guyana. The organization has said that with access to financing being a leading hurdle for many businesses in Guyana, GSE has a significant role to play in facilitating a transparent and efficient marketplace for companies to raise capital, invest, and grow. GCCI reminded that it has been on public record on multiple occasions championing the reform of the capital markets and the stock exchange in Guyana. The Chamber argued that the lack of necessary infrastructure, technological advancements, and a regulatory framework at the GSE compromise the financial health of businesses, restrict their ability to attract investment, and ultimately hamper their growth potential. Moreover, it said the substandard functioning of GSE is also resulting in the sale of stocks in breach of a company's bylaws, and this is a worrying trend. According to the business umbrella body, with Guyana being on a revolutionary growth trajectory, it is imperative that the GSE be rehabilitated to keep pace with the rapid growth and development taking place all across the nation. Against this backdrop, the GCCI called on the Guyana Association of Securities Companies and Intermediaries, Inc., and the Guyana Securities Council to prioritize the modernization of GSE infrastructure with a focus on the incorporation of technologically advanced best practices. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Transitions Light Intelligent Lenses. Pick your color. Choose your style. Available at Optique Vision Care.
Ladies, Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to kick off the new year with a bang? Digicel has an offer that'll make your January extra special. Imagine winning up to $1 million in free groceries in Digicel's $6 million groceries extravaganza. Simply top up with $1,000 or more, and you can be one of 6 lucky winners to enjoy the ultimate shopping spree worth $6 million. What are you waiting for? Start topping up today. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
It's a new day with Shilling Oil. A unique blend of natural oils to help ease and soothe the day-to-day discomforts of life. Get relief from muscle and joint pain, headaches, and congestion. Shilling Oil lets you get back to the things you love doing most. Water relief with Shilling Oil. Distributed by Massey Distribution.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. A fire in the heart of the commercial district of CORRIVERTON, Region 6, has resulted in the destruction of several businesses, including a hotel, restaurant, sports bar, and an upholstery operation. Our Berbice correspondent, Andrew Carmichael, reports.
Mahendra Prasad, who operated Mohan & Sons upholstery shop at Lot P, CORRIVERTON, said he was at work when he saw smoke emanating from a room not far from where he was. That was at around 9 hours. Within minutes, the fire spread to his business place, which he had been renting for the past 15 years. The fire then spread to Ritz Hotel and consumed it before taking down a mall, which contained several businesses.
Then we go up my door, we see fire. When we see fire now, we see a little fire, we go out now. We go out now. We bought a pally, and we put in thing, sponge, Charlie. Fire, Charlie, a little sponge flat. When we lock back the door quick, we tell man by fire, come help me take out the machine and put them outside quick. That's why a little room aside so. Then people take over there, then call fire real quick. And then go call fire real, but take long to come. And we try how the machine out we can get, but nothing we can manage fire a place. A wood, bare wood and fire start take it in quick. You know, we start blaze. But then fire start spread for catch another building.
Meanwhile, the owner of Ritz Hotel, Kamalade Outer, explained that she was in the lower flat of the building when her granddaughter informed her that she saw thick smoke next door. Outer said she immediately moved to investigate. She stated that the fire spread from her neighbor's property to hers and started to burn on the 3rd floor of her business.
My little granddaughter was in the room, that is downstairs, and she ran out and she said, grandmother, look smoke will come through here. So when I pull the blind, I see the smoke coming through, but I want to know where, and she running out and she hollering me, I run out. When I run out, I see the smoke come and I see by my neighbor. The left-hand side from the old house, the old building, the smoke started coming out black. But the smoke when already start to accumulate in my room, in all the room, because I opened the window them. And after then the fire started to spread because it's a very old building.
Oh, when we get compressor, leatherette, we roll enough material, we get by roll all one out. We get people cheer when we supposed to deliver Friday. We know that's the next place in rent or something we gotta do. When I studied and think, plus big man car from Jarstone, he bring up one new model car that come to do all one out, you know, we go find back that one. But we go tell the man, but the car that will study. You can't way back that. So fancy car, you bring up the roof. You do one car upstairs, you know, so no problem. All about it.
The fire department said at 9:34 it received a call in relation to the fire, and a water tender from the CORRIVERTON Fire Service, supported by a water tender from Rose Hall, were dispatched. According to the fire department, the first appliance arrived on the scene at 9:39 hours. On arrival, firefighters discovered that one building was destroyed and another fully engulfed in flames and smoke. The cause of the fire is still being investigated. For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
3 persons have been injured following a shooting and chopping incident that occurred at a popular nightclub at Pitt Street in New Amsterdam, Berbice, in the wee hours of Sunday. Our Berbice correspondent, Andrew Carmichael, joins us again with the details.
Police say the incident occurred at Pitt Street, New Amsterdam between 2:15 hours and 3 hours on Sunday and involved a group of males between ages 24 and 30 years old. Those injured are 28-year-old Danzel Amsterdam, 28-year-old Akul Henry, and Troyden Trellis, also called Old Boy. Police say the men were at a popular nightclub imbibing and an argument broke out, resulting in the alleged chopping and shooting incident. Amsterdam was reportedly chopped to the head, while Henry sustained a gunshot injury to his head and one to his back and was also chopped in the face. It is not clear what injuries Trellis sustained, but he and Henry were admitted as patients at the New Amsterdam hospital, while Amsterdam was treated and sent away. Moreover, the police said that a firearm that was taken away during the incident has been recovered. In a statement, the police detailed that acting on information received, they went to a home of a 26-year-old man at Stanleytown, New Amsterdam, in connection with the firearm that was taken away from a male during the shooting incident. That firearm, a .32 pistol with an empty magazine, was later found in a clump of bushes close to the man's house. Meanwhile, Niasha McGregor, Amsterdam's sister, said that she was in bed when she received a telephone call about the incident.
What I heard is that this old buyer, he was running my brother, and my brother, apparently he snatched some young lady from within the crowd, and he and she was running around 2 cars, and he was firing behind my brother. That's what I gather from the hospital.
One eyewitness told this newscast that 2 groups were involved in a fight. One of the groups comprised of the cousins, while the 3 members of the other group are characters known to the police. One of the 3 known men was armed with a cutlass, and each of the other 2 had a firearm. Amsterdam's mother said the trio had been after her son since 2021, following an incident outside of a club at Main and Alexander Streets, also in New Amsterdam.
One night they was doing a board night out, and somebody in a crowd pelt a bottle. These persons are known to my son, also the individual that pelt the bottle, well known to my son and my daughter. My daughter ended up getting injured with the said bottle that pelt. So my son feels best to ask what's the cause of the pelting of the bottle, because nobody have a problem with nobody. And with that, the young man by the name of Demon, he pulled out a cutlass and he started broadsiding both of them. Well, Denzel tried to manage and get the cutlass, but seeing that Denzel's hand was cut with the cutlass, he had to let go. But the said morning, they went to the station and make a report.
According to the woman, almost 2 years after, the police have taken no action, and during that period, there have been altercations between the 2 groups. There are reports that the incident started inside the club, where shots were allegedly fired. For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
A total of 65 persons, including 30 police officers, have graduated from the American University of Peace Studies. Kamesi Slow tells us more.
The American University of Peace Studies graduation ceremony on Saturday was held under the theme Psychology, the Hallmark for Holistic Development. A total of 65 persons graduated, making it the largest batch ever to graduate from the institution. This batch consists of diploma, degree, and master's graduates who would have completed programs in forensic, general, and clinical psychology. Delivering the feature address at the event, Attorney General Anil Nandalal acknowledged the importance of psychology for better development.
Psychology is defined as the scientific study of the mind and behavior. It encompasses the biological influences, social pressures, and environmental factors that affect how people think, act, and feel. Holistic development from this perspective is the social, emotional, physical, mental, and intellectual growth of the human being. So in a nutshell, the human animal's overall growth is shaped, influenced, and affected by his biological composition, the type of socialization, and the quality of environment in which that animal habitates.
Of the 65 graduates, 30 are police officers. Delon Fraser, one of the graduates, reflected on the program offered at the university as he shared words of encouragement to his fellow graduating colleagues.
That your chosen discipline is a well-chosen one and is much needed in today's society, where we are witnessing an increase in disorderly and very often violent behavioral patterns. So we need your field of study to understand why. Your expertise will help to stem those deviant behavioral patterns. At the chambers of the Director of Public Prosecutions, we are gravely concerned at the level which violence is perpetuated in our homes and out in our streets, as we see the results in the police files when they are sent for, of course, legal advice. So there must be a root cause, and you will be called upon to assist us in understanding what it is.
The American University of Peace Studies is a private institution that began operating in Guyana in 2002. It offers diploma, bachelor's, and master's degree programs in various fields of psychology. Kamisi Slow for the Evening News.
During India's 75th Republic Day celebrations, Guyana acknowledged and recognized that country's significant global impact and applauded its dedication to democratic governance, pluralism, and the rule of law. Find out more in this Trishelle Sobers report.
Delivering the feature address at a recent reception held at the Pegasus Corporate Suites in observance of India's 57th Republic anniversary, Minister of Governance and Parliamentary Affairs, Gail Teixeira, recognized India's contribution to global affairs. She also lauded the strong diplomatic ties between Guyana and India.
Since it marks the adoption of India's constitution, a watershed moment in the country's history that laid the foundation for a sovereign, democratic, and secular nation. The fact that the constitution was produced within 3 years, and the independence came out of a struggle of the people of India. The constitution itself was revolutionary and has stayed the test of time.
Teixeira expressed that Guyana admires the advances India has made over the decades, also highlighting the fundamental principles of democracy.
As we celebrate this important day, we also honor the lasting principles of democracy, diversity, and unity that bring our countries together. Guyana and India have had and continue to have strong historical and cultural links, and our diplomatic relations have grown throughout the years through partnership in trade, education, infrastructure, agriculture, research, and technology. Guyana and India share a vibrant cooperation program that encompasses many projects over the decades.
Meanwhile, Dr. Amit Shivkumar Tulang, India's High Commissioner to Guyana, in his remarks, said India has shown a strong dedication to collaborating closely with its global partners to offer eco-friendly alternatives by combining developmental requirements with innovative and sustainable solutions.
We consider Guyana as one of our most important partners, both bilaterally as well as under the multilateral forum like CARICOM. We consider many other countries within the CARICOM also are valuable friends in this process. Guyana in particular has been a trusted friend and a dependable partner with shared vision, especially in areas such as food security, energy security, and climate mitigation measures. Our historical links with Guyana are deeply cherished, and it is a privilege to be a long-standing developmental partner for Guyana, which is today on the cusp of a phenomenal economic and developmental transformation. Our nearly 6-year-old stable and sustained partnership is rooted in our common values of freedom and democracy, nurtured by our historical, cultural, and people-to-people links. Our robust cooperation in areas of education, capacity building, skill development, and environmental changes provide testimony to our strong belief in the strength of our people.
Dr. Talang stressed that despite being a young republic at 75, India maintains a significant global impact and considers it an honor to collaborate with all partners in striving for a safe, secure, and sustainable world for future generations. Trishelle Silbers, Evening News.
And now for a look at the Birch Reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Tuesday, January 30, 2024 at 4 hours for 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed at 6 hours 50 on Tuesday, January 30, 2024, also for 1.5 hours.
Joseph's heroics lead West Indies to historic win in Australia and always available for West Indies, says Joseph, as he lands PSL contract. Details of these stories and more in this podcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to kick off the new year with a bang? Digicel has an offer that'll make your January extra special. Imagine winning up to $1 million in free groceries in Digicel's $6 million groceries extravaganza. Simply top up with $1,000 or more, and you can be one of 6 lucky winners to enjoy the ultimate shopping spree worth $6 million. What are you waiting for? Start topping up today. Digicel, the network for everyone, everywhere.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Birch Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
Superbet, your best bet. Bet as you enjoy your live matches today. Place your live bets at www.superbet.gy on any of your favorite matches and watch your winnings grow. Must be 18 years and older. Terms and conditions apply.